All right, let's see the final results of our poll question. I'm going to guess it's going to lean toward, a trip to Ohio State. That's what everybody's predicting. We will see and tell you shortly whether or not that's what Tennessee gets. But right now, back with Mark Pancratz, Tyler Ivins, Ryan Callahan. We're going to make this a quick segment, so I'm going to get you two to fire questions at Mr. Pancratz, and you have to sit there and get peppered again.
All right. We've already talked about it on the radio show, so I'll just follow up with a little bit of a progress report. Before Thanksgiving, I asked about Cameron Carr, how well they can actually close the gap with his injury. How well do you feel like they've done? Because 9 scholarship athletes right now that are essentially in the rotation, you're going to need him back healthier than ever. I know the date is the early conference portion in January. How do you think they've done without having Carr off the bench?
I would say they've done well without Carr. I think it hurts Carr's development for him to be out.
Absolutely.
And his involvement for the end of the conference league. I think you're going to see more teams keep less scholarship guys on. In the NIL era, less scholarship guys, more money can go to the concentrated guys. You're not having to navigate the roster balances of, hey, the 11th scholarship guy's not getting any playing time, and so he's already trying to find other places to go. So I think you're going to see more teams kind of do what Pat Summitt did back in the day and keep less scholarship athletes.
What's your biggest concern about this team getting ready for SEC play? Any certain thing that's maybe lurking beneath the surface that we're not seeing in these non-conference games where they're scoring a lot of points?
I think there's one thing where people can handle adversity and not feeling like they're getting the respect, and there's another thing that when you go to number 1 in the country, how do you handle it? I don't think we've played some of the talent that some of these other programs have played right now, and the SEC's loaded. And so we're not going to win every game. We may lose 2, maybe lose 3 in a row, and maybe finish top 3 or 4, maybe win the SEC. But we're going to face some adversity yet. And this team, this group of guys, this locker room has not faced any adversity. And so that's my biggest concern. When they do catch a couple losses, how do we handle it?
Which is interesting considering how well Rick Barnes usually schedules. And he got some good names on the schedule this year. It's just some of those names are a little bit on the downslope, including Miami, who they will play next at Madison Square Garden. We'll talk and get a preview from Mark about that next, going back on the Sports Source.